Hey everyone, so welcome. We have this handsome fellow here, Carlos. How do you say it? Carl, like how?
I can't roll my R's. Carlos.
Right. Aren't you supposed to be able to roll your R's in some way?
I yeah, the gringo in me is really strong. I can't do it.
Okay. Well, welcome, Carlos. So you've been in the community for a while. It's about time you've come here. So why don't you just tell us how you got here? Yeah, what brought you here?
So like as far as OPS and what
Yeah.
got me into OPS or MBTI in general and typology,
Well, I mean, it's all part of the same saga, right? You
fair.
could start with your birth. You could start with your grandparents.
Oh my, we're going deep into the NI already. Like the universe
Yeah.
planned me. And no.
Right.
I got into typology by one of my exes, a girl I was dating at the time, gave me the 16 personalities test. And I was
Hmm.
like, okay. I took it and tested, I think as an ENFP or INFP, ENFP. And I was like,
Wow,
whatever,
really close.
this is dumb. Um, and I didn't think much of it. But then somehow, I think I was taking a general psychology class at the time too. And I started to get interested in psychology in general. And then I talked to a friend of mine who did like business consulting, but he used MBTI principles and he was telling me about it. And he was like, yeah, I think you are actually an ENFP. And he was telling me all the things that like I could learn from it. And then I started to get interested. So I bought David Kiersey's book, um,
Oh well.
and I really did consume it. I spent many hours sitting in the bathtub reading David Kiersey and wondering, trying to type people and, think like, I wonder what my dad would be. I wonder, you know, and just
What's the
apply.
bathtub? What's the bathtub thing? What? Why did that? Is that where you usually read your books?
Not always, but I just happened to, a memory flashed to me of reading David Kiersey in the bathtub. That's you can get some good reading done in the bathtub.
Right.
It's nice and relaxing.
Uh-huh.
If you fall asleep, you'll start to drown, and then you'll wake back up, and you can keep reading. So it's a good, autofocus
Cool.
mechanism.
So then OP happened in some way?
So um, I got really big into the MBTI thing. So I would like start leading conversations with, "Hey, have you ever taken the Myers-Briggs test?"
Oh
And I would
wow.
just kind of blast and grill people on it all the time. And so yeah, I just met a lot of people that were also really interested in it. And as I started trying to type people, I noticed that we would often come to very different conclusions about typing people. Like nobody could ever agree on a type. And I'm like, dang, is this all BS? Or like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
Then I found Dave's original Dave Superpowers videos, and that kind of got me on the OPS train. So
Awesome.
found it,
Well,
joined the class, got typed. Yeah.
yeah. And then we all sort of melt down into yeah, good to have you here with us. Yeah. So, okay, so you started off with like did you type yourself as an ENFP when you submitted your type?
So I had changed my type to an INFP, my self type, because clearly I'm introverted, and
Right.
of course I understand that. But in my heart of hearts, I thought maybe ENFP was a little more honest. I don't know. I was some kind of FI with lead
Right.
A is what I thought.
So yeah, so I'm interested in like what you were actually seeing then. Like what were you seeing with your FI back then? Has it changed or it still seems like the FI is the same?
I think it's the same. I
Yeah.
make decisions based on what I value. That's been a theme throughout my entire life. So
Yeah. Can you shed a little bit more light? I know it's really hard to do that, but on like what FI actually is for you? Like do you feel yourself like what
yeah.
does that even mean making decisions based on values?
Um, so I'm always thinking about what I'm always checking with myself, like what do I want to do? Is this something that I like? Do I enjoy this activity? Do I
Hmm.
enjoy this profession? Is this fulfilling for me? Is this something I care about? Do I want to eat this food? Like
Right.
I'm always just thinking about, I'm always organizing that information.
Yeah. So is that something that's happening in the moment when you're faced with a decision, or it's happened also when you're planning for your future? Like
Oh,
what?
definitely both.
Yeah.
Like if you're presented with something unexpected and you have to process it, you can say, okay, do I like this or not? What am
Right.
I thinking about this? And then of course, if you're planning, if we're planning a vacation or something, where would I like to go? So yeah,
Hmm.
it's constant. It's constant.
Yeah. Wh- What about in terms of like when you do get hit in the emotions? Is that something that you try to take advantage of? Like, is there a self-learning thing? Because that's what I was hearing from Max the other day.
What do you mean hit by emotions? Like
So you get hit negatively by emotions, or I don't know, something like that,
there's a like conflict at work or something, and like I
or
don't
a
know, somebody yells at
breakup,
you or
or
something.
yeah,
Oh, I
or
see.
yeah.
Um, I don't really know. Yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time thinking about that stuff if I need to. So you have that benefit, but yeah, I would say that you're aware of those emotions on a level. Yeah, I'm not sure how necessarily beneficial it is because you can be very introspective and still be very
Right.
unaware. So,
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I want to go along the same line, ask you basically what Max was trying to see, get another data point on it, where it's like, he was saying that he takes it as an opportunity to learn about himself, and like there's lots of people that try to push away their emotions and not learn about themselves, not take that opportunity.
oh, yeah, I would agree with that's Max is pretty mature. That's a good outtake on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like your emotions kind of point to what you actually believe about yourself.
Hmm.
So if somebody offends you and you tell yourself, "Oh, that didn't bother me that much. Don't worry about it," but you're still mad about it 2 days later. Well, the truth is you were actually offended, right? So you need to
Right.
process that a little bit. So
And do you
yeah,
feel like you're learning about yourself when you do that? Like, do you feel that's who you
sure.
are in some way?
Yeah, sure. Because if you are not honest with what you actually feel and believe, and you do things that run contrary to what you to what you feel and believe, you know I think you're setting yourself up for some pain and some problems.
Hmm.
Obviously, don't always just do only what you want to do, right?
Right.
But there's if you're in a profession that you absolutely despise and you don't respect and whatever,
Yeah.
you're allowed to make the change.
So, okay, so like you're saying basically at least be aware of that. But so if you are aware of that, can you predict like how you'll react to certain things as well?
Yeah, I would say
And
so.
just
If it's something
brace,
I've experienced and
yeah.
pre-processed, yeah, I believe so.
And it helps you brace for the impact if you've already processed that.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily set myself up for something painful. Like, if I found something to be hurtful, I'm trying to think of a situation we could apply this to, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna
Sorry, we're too NF
yeah,
here.
we're
We
we're
should.
getting pretty
Thanks.
abstract
Yeah.
here.
Thanks for bringing us back to the sensory. Yeah. Yeah. Um. And so then, how does do you see your NI more than your FI then now today?
More now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say, but NI is a weird function to see. So all I know is that I use lots of weird analogies and I like to talk about weird, strange, abstract stuff. Like that's the most like I can, it's
Yeah.
hard to really narrow down the NI if you're just talking about it specifically, right?
Right.
If you were
Yeah.
to say like I could maybe point to an example at work or something, like if I'm planning like a music set for a church service, like how I'd
Hmm.
maybe use NI or how I would maybe plan differently from somebody, we can maybe narrow it down that way. But
Yeah. What about in terms of like just building your I don't know, your values, your beliefs, things like that? Is that something you're spending a lot of your time doing?
yeah, I would say so. Like I'm always collecting, but again, I'm not sure if that's FI or NI necessarily.
Well, I think it's the sleep, right? It's the two
Yeah,
together. Yeah.
yeah,
Like, is that what you're seeing? Is that something that sleep seems to be doing for you?
yeah. You could say maybe I'm always asking like, is this really necessary? Do I really need to spend time doing this? Is this
Right.
important? Like, have you thought
Right.
about it, Benjamin? Do you feel like these interviews are valuable? Do you enjoy doing these interviews?
I
Do you
have
feel like
not
the
thought about it.
community is getting a
Yeah. No, haven't thought about it at all. Yeah. So I remember someone calling you out and saying, "What is the greater purpose in doing this?" Like, Like if someone does something that doesn't seem to have a greater purpose, it's confusing to you.
Yeah, because if it's not leading somewhere, why bother doing it? I mean, I guess you can get some temporary enjoyment out of it, and
Right.
like I get that, but like I don't know. Eric was calling me out in Discord earlier because a friend of ours was talking about going to work out, and um, I was like, "Well, why are you going to work out?" And she's like, "Do I need a reason?" Like, well, yeah. Why would you? Because like to me, working out is not fun. That's not something I enjoy, right? So
Okay.
if I'm gonna go work out, it has to be like I've got to be trying to lose weight. I'm training for an event. I'm trying to find hot girls at the gym to talk to. Like, there's got to be some fi thing going on there
Some
to
greater
like
purpose.
the purpose of why I would go through something that I
Right.
didn't like. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, and he was like, "Dude, not everybody thinks like that." I'm like, "You mean you can just do something you don't like and it
Yeah.
doesn't bother you?" Like, what? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I was just thinking like you see someone just kicking a can down the road and it's like does that confuse you that people would just do that without any greater purpose?
Um, Now I personally enjoy kicking things too, so no, but
It's
yeah,
yeah,
I
don't
get
get too sensory on the analogy. Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, I agree, I agree.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I recognize that people enjoy different sets of things than I do, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be like, "Gosh, why is that idiot kicking that can?" Like, be like, "Oh, whatever, kicking a can."
So what have you come up with so far? What is the greater purpose? I don't know, for yourself, for others, for the world, for the universe?
Oh god, oh god. Um, well, we're all unique, right? So we have unique sets of skills and backgrounds and experiences. So I think part of being like a complete person and like a useful person is taking advantage of all of those skills, right? And unique experiences to help serve your tribe, I guess, and grow, right? Because nobody else can quite do these interviews like you can. So you spend a lot of time studying, and you have you offer a unique perspective to the community. So it's valuable. Only Benjamin can do it, right?
Yeah,
So
I see you paying me back for asking you the question. We could change the topic.
no, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trolling. I promise. I do
Yeah,
believe.
okay.
So for me, like, I feel like I'm an okay piano player. Um, I study psychology as a hobby, and I enjoy teaching and blasting. So like I can take a I there's a niche for me to do well and help people learn and enjoy music, and I get a lot of joy
Mhm.
out of that too. So
So you feel like that's the greater purpose that you're trying to embark on? Like everything
grand
is
goal, teach music.
yeah, like but like everything you do and is sort of seen through that lens. Is it contributing to this or is it not? And you're trying to eliminate what's not contributing to it?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say that. If I feel like I'm doing something that I'm not meant to do, or that somebody else could do better, it makes me kind of step back and be like, oh, what am I doing here? So
Mhm. So, like I could see that also causing depression, that kind of mentality, because like obviously no one's the best at anything. There's
right,
always somebody better. Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't know. At least you're. Some people don't look there either because if they start looking there, then they'll get depressed. But you're looking there. So did you have to go through like some kind of depression before you could come out on the other side and find that greater purpose?
Uh, yeah, I mean, absolutely. So I mean, I was in counseling from the time that I was 16 to 23. Um, and I had a lot of negative thought patterns that I had to work through, and I feel like the NIFIs, if left to their own devices, that sleep cycle just
Right.
goes and goes and goes and goes, and you just focus on all the negative things, and you never get anywhere. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, at some point you realize, okay, I may not be in the perfect profession. I may not be doing like I may not feel like I'm fulfilling my grand purpose. Um, but it's okay. Like
Right.
you can teach music, and you know it's not a big deal. Like
Yeah. But do you feel like you're happier and you're more fulfilled now that you've come on that other side and found some kind of goal to put your energy into?
um well, it's just I enjoy teaching, and I enjoy doing it, and it's like a sustainable lifestyle, and so like I'm not really looking for anything more, but do take satisfaction in being like, okay, it's something I love and it's something I've worked on and it's
Yeah.
something I can share. So I get a lot of joy out of that.
Yeah. No, because I do see people that that's their struggle in life. Like, what is my purpose? What is my big thing? And they're not looking there, and they're looking for it outside. They're looking for like someone else to tell them what it is, or to sort of stumble upon it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're not doing that. You're not trying to stumble upon it. You're trying to see what it is before you go, right?
M- Maybe. I guess I just want to add value to other people, to the tribe in some way.
Hmm.
So I by doing something that I feel like I'm good at,
Right.
it's just a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But
Something that you resonate with, maybe even.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you're really young and you don't really have any skills. You're like, well, what do I focus on?
Right.
It can be a difficult question. So
And so, sorry to keep pushing on this, but like
that's
throughout
fine.
your life, have you re-questioned that? Have you had to re-examine that, reevaluate that, and change your direction, or it's always been the same direction?
Um, so yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like when I first graduated from high school, I thought I wanted to be a doctor and went and took my first chemistry course and realized, nope, I will not make it through 4 years of this. And so I dropped out of school and went and lived in Mexico for a year, studied Spanish and came back. And then I was like, well, I really loved working with horses. Maybe I should go do that. So I went up to school in Ohio for equine management and equine science.
Hmm.
Did that first semester and was like, nope, that's not it. Well, school's clearly out. I don't know what the heck I want to do. So then I bartended for a while, and while I was
Yeah.
bartending, I worked at it was a music venue. So I got my interest rekindled in music, and then started focusing on that, and then started teaching, and kind of
Right.
you slowly figure it out. So
Yeah. So there was the trial and error process. There was the going out to look for it and gathering it
yeah,
process.
yeah.
And that was the purpose of it as well. Like it doesn't sound like you were just meandering through life. You were actually trying to find it.
Um, yeah, you could say so. I mean, I was definitely
Yeah.
always thinking about it. So
Yeah. So apparently we have the same quadra, you and I. That's what these guys are saying.
oh, the beard quadra. Hey, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benjamin's
Yeah.
beard is epic though. Gosh, it's so filled in. I wish I could have that. Like I don't.
Yeah.
How do I?
It
Yeah,
used to be longer.
man. Your beard used to be longer. It's already
Yeah.
freaking epic, man.
Um. Okay. So that's not like you're not the standard INTJ, but do you see your TE? Like, do you see your NITI working together a little bit in the blast? Is that something that's
Um, s- when I'm in a work environment, like when I'm working with a band or something, yes, I think I come across as very TE.
Mhm.
Um, but outside of work environments, I don't see it. No,
Yeah.
I feel like just more of an emotional little girl running around.
Like, do you feel like you're trying to get the thing to work? You're trying to make sure things go smoothly?
When it comes to music and work, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'll block bang all day.
Okay. And like, what about the blast? Like, what about um try I don't know, how do you see it? Like, do you see it as trying to align the tribe on something, or trying to create a world that you feel should be created, or
So hmm. So maybe an example is when I worked as a music director, like I was responsible for multiple bands' performances, right? So part of what I would do is, I'd pick songs, I would text the band members throughout the week, make sure that they were aware of the songs, what the arrangements were, um, make sure that they were practicing, and communicate any changes. And then when it came time for a performance, we would, have a rehearsal and run everything and just yeah, it's making sure that the tribe is kind of on the same page and
yeah.
kind of pulling and making sure everything is in place so we have a really nice performance.
And you feel that call to action, that it's like your job? It's
I feel extremely responsible for that. Yeah,
yeah.
yes. So it was actually something that was maybe a little unhealthy for me at my last job because it was a the music was pretty high level, and there was just a lot of effort and detail that went into it. And so like if somebody messed up, which even really good musicians mess up all the time, but if somebody messed up or something went wrong, I felt I took a lot of responsibility for that. I'm like, dang it, like I should have seen that one coming. You
Hmm.
know, I could have
That's
I
an
could
interesting
prevent
one there.
I could have prevented that mistake.
Yeah, that's an
Easily.
interesting one. I should have seen that one coming. Do you feel that a lot in your
Yeah,
life?
yeah,
Yeah. Is that like a mantra of yours?
yeah, yeah. I know that's a common INTJ saying, but
Yeah.
it's a yeah, that's a thing I do feel.
Hmm. Um, I've been trying to look at Blast in a few different ways recently. So I'm wondering, are you aware of if what you say is going to be accepted before you say it? Are you looking at that?
Often, no. I've gotten in big trouble because of that. I'm mostly checking with myself. Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Do
easy
you,
for me to offend people. I would
do
say
you,
it's a skill of mine.
yeah, but do you like, okay, let's say you know it's not going to be well received. You still feel the responsibility to do it anyways?
If I feel like it needs to be said, yeah, I'll
Yeah,
say it. So I mean, like with musicians, if somebody keeps playing the wrong note, I'm going to
right.
call them out in front of everybody, um, to a whole room full of, without hesitation.
Yeah,
So, because for my mind, I'm like, I'm sorry, like you had 2 weeks to learn this material, and I gave you every resource possible, and you still mess it up. Fix it now. So
yeah.
like, oh, I was getting mad just thinking about it. Yeah.
Self-aware. Yep. And like, so when you do Blast, inevitably people are going to push back against that and not want to listen, or I don't know. Does
Sometimes.
that phase you? Do you just keep pushing until they do listen? What happens?
Um, so it depends. I mean, I try to not be controlling. But if I feel like there's a team goal that needs to happen and we've all agreed to that team goal, I will eventually do whatever I need to make sure that that goal happens. So I'll start off nice, but then if there's pushback, I'll work around it as best I can,
Hmm. Yeah,
or through it if I need to.
yeah. Yeah. And do you feel like also like the feminine TE, you're very agreeable as well? You just let things slide in some way?
I wanna say that it's kind of like a fake front that, like, I come across as nice, but I'm actually not very movable when it comes
Right.
to the block banging, so, yeah, I'm not sure. It'll start
Hmm.
like, if we're, I don't know, if we're in a band and you mess up, like, "Hey, just a reminder, it was a B, not a C." Um, but it was just kind of sugar coated, like, really, it's, "Hey, idiot, play the right note," so, I don't know.
Yeah. Quote right here.
Hey, speaking of idiots.
Yeah.
Ooh, hey, Melanie.
Um, so hi Melanie. So Ian has a question. Hi Ian. How do you connect your demon consume to your savior sleep? Do you feel some kind of conflict with your FI identity? So like that's an interesting question because you have savior FI and it's split between a demon state and a savior state. Do you see that shift? Do you see your FI turn into a demon when you're consuming?
That's a oh man, that's a good question. So not with I don't feel a conflict with my identity. It's kind of like so for me, it almost feels like consume is like new things that I don't like. That's what it feels like. And sleep are
Yeah.
they can be new things, but it's mostly things that I kind of know that I do like.
Right.
So that's just where I make that divide. Um,
So it's your FI is still in charge. It is still savior,
yeah,
and it's what's keeping you in the sleep and what's pushing you out of the consume is
right,
even that FI. Yeah,
right.
interesting. I wonder also when you do consume, like, okay, so this was something I was noticing with someone else I was talking to, where I'll consume a whole bunch of things and just throw out most of it. And they were like, "What? You throw out your consume? Like, I need to know that what I'm consuming, I can accept all of it." Do you feel something like that, where like you need to be able to accept all of the consume, or just never do it at all? Do you feel you have that kind of discernment when you're consuming?
Um, It's more like I just feel like I'm being forced to eat like a food that I really hate, and I just want to do as little of it as possible to get through. So kind
Okay.
of, kind of.
But there are things that you like consuming.
Yes. So this was
Cat
something I was
videos.
actually a little confused about because when I got typed by Shan, she told me she was like, the things that you think you're consuming, you're actually just sleep processing. They're within general categories that you've already consumed and liked, so you're just kind of updating. So, but I don't know. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure how well that necessarily tracks because I do like. I mean, I like a lot of TV shows and um, there's music that I like, but my consume band is very narrow. So
Yeah. So like that's something that I was also seeing. It's like sometimes you can consume to update your worldview, or you can consume to just confirmation bias your worldview, right? Just be like, oh, I already know I like this. I already know this is what I believe. I'm going to go and consume stuff that reinforces that.
probably a lot of confirmation bias. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you'll never take that responsibility to go out and challenge your beliefs by consuming something
Not,
contradictory.
not unless I feel like it's going to be a problem. Um, yeah.
Interesting.
I'll,
Okay.
I'll
What does that
consume.
mean?
I'll only consume if I feel like I have to. Right. So if somebody said, hey, Carlos, or I don't know, like, what's a good example? Like the way you interact with people at is inappropriate. Here are like some FE tips or whatever, and
Hmm.
there you like I would go, okay, I really need to analyze. Like these interactions are not going well. I need to update how I'm interacting with people. I need to learn how to do this, and this better. Like, what can
Yeah.
I do? What are some examples of some people that I can watch that are doing this well? I feel like I would make myself. I want to say I would make myself go do that.
Yeah. Melanie had a question. Do you think you are mean, or you just feel like you're mean?
People who don't know me say that I'm really nice, and then when they do get to know me, they're like, oh, "Yeah, you're such an asshole."
Okay.
So
But I
it's
mean, do they say that just because like it's fun to say that, or you
I think
actually
it's
are nice?
like a little bit of both.
Okay.
So I think I can't. I honestly, I think I can be very cold and very narrow and just completely ignore somebody's emotional reaction,
Oh
um,
wow.
ignore the vibe in the room, because either because I didn't consume it or because it's outside of my values and I just feel like it's
Right.
unimportant. So it's very easy for me to just crap
Yeah.
on somebody's beliefs
That's an
and
interesting
defend
question
the crap
too.
out of it.
Yeah. Do you feel like everyone should be responsible for their own vibe, or do you take responsibility for their vibe in some way?
On one hand, I hate taking responsibility for other people, but I do think, if you're in the room with somebody, you share in that responsibility. Yeah,
Hmm.
I feel like that's the more mature mindset.
Um. Okay. Do you ever feel like you blame people for disturbing your vibe or your peace?
Oh, isn't I mean, yeah, I mean, because people
Yeah.
can come in and do something that just offends the crap out of you. Like if somebody like walked into my house and like punched me in the face or something, they, yeah, they disturbed me. I mean, like
Well, yeah, but I mean,
you can control a lot, but you can't control everything. So kind of.
right. Well, like that's actually an action, like a physical offense or whatever. But like if they just
Yeah,
said something, they're like, "I think cats are dumb, and I shot a cat out of a cannon yesterday."
I'm gonna kill you.
Like,
Yeah, well, words are powerful though. It says a lot.
yeah,
I mean, it might not be a physical punch, but it's, let's not act like yeah. To me, it's hard to be totally emotionally unflappable. Like you're never gonna get you're never gonna mess up my vibe. No, like I'm vulnerable to other
right.
people. Yeah.
But would you? So here's more of the question: would you say that they're the ones that messed up your vibe, or they showed you a place where you're not secure enough and strong enough in your own?
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes, the latter of what. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's maybe fair. So yeah,
Do
I
you have
would like to
something a
say
little?
that I'm very in control of my emotions, and I kind of do, show
Right.
and react to. But yeah, there's weak spots for sure.
So if someone exposed a weak spot or showed you where you're weak, like, is that you don't blame them for that, but you're more like, okay, now I need to know where I need to put pressure on self to fix that?
I would be a little annoyed with them.
Right.
But yeah, definitely I would want to put pressure on myself to fix that. Who wouldn't, right?
Nobody else. Yeah.
Nobody. Oh well.
Yeah. I mean, we all should be like, that's really taking responsibility for the FI. And I just wanted to see that. Yeah.
So do
Because
you don't put pressure on yourself to like improve or to
yes,
fix emotional weak points?
emotional weak points, probably not. I'm unaware of them. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So hi, Dave. Because
Hey,
you're twin type of Dave Powers, I guess.
the weather sure is pretty today.
Yeah.
So good to see you.
There's a cat. So I'm jealous that Kendrick got to see your cat and I don't. So
So listen, one of them was sleeping in a Negro Modelo box in the garage earlier, so she may not be coming out for a little while.
Mhm. What a coincidence. There's someone else here that's arguing with you, with your same name, saying Melanie's not an idiot.
Who's this person? Melanie is like the second coolest type of the 512. She's a double feminine on IFI.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, but just a little short.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just change this up a little bit. Do you see play as like a hobby? Is that something that you identify with?
Um, that's a I don't know. That's a general question. Like
It's
do you
very general,
enjoy
yeah.
hanging out with people and like doing
Yeah.
things that are like yeah, sure.
So
So
like, do you see it express itself in different ways, in a specific way? It's just very general.
um so it's definitely a demon because honestly, like we're playing and we're having a good time on this call, but unless I'm in the Discord talking to somebody or by myself, I'm pretty mopey most of the time, right? And it's hard for me to sustain play for like a long period of time. So like you're
Yeah.
seeing me, like I've had to amp myself up to get ready for this call. Uh,
Yeah.
so I feel pressure around people to be energetic.
But like, okay, so like this is how the theory goes, and this is what we're just double checking here as well as an
Okay.
extra data point. It's like, okay, so you have the sleep, you have the blast, right? And once you've done all of those, your responsibilities are all completely fulfilled on your sleep and your blast. Is it now, oh, finally, now I get to play? Is that kind of the feeling?
Oh, I've never thought about that. I honestly I feel like I'm just doing a lot more sleep and blast in general. Like that just
Yeah.
naturally comes first. But it's not like I must do all my sleep first. From 8 a.m. to 12 is sleep time, and then it's
Yeah.
blast time when I have my
No,
students. And
yeah.
in the evening I can play. It's not quite that rigid.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. The most I can say is that I feel like I prioritize sleep and blast over play.
Okay. And like, do you just, I've seen this with another sleep type where like you're aware of your energy and you just have to go take a nap. You're just like, okay, I'm out, guys. Like, now is the time. Does that happen to you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually did it yesterday. I was working out with a friend, and I hadn't worked out in a while, so like 2-3 months. And we went yesterday, and I got about an hour into the workout, and I was like, I think I'm done. And he's like, well, we got 2 more ab exercises, and then we're gonna do a little bit of walking. And I'm like, no, I'm actually done. I'm gonna leave now. I'll see you tomorrow, man. He was like, what? But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting. A little bit of a callback to what we were talking about earlier. How do you relieve the self-imposed pressure when it gets too intense? Does this make sense to you a little bit?
Um, like Ben, do you mean like if you're being too hard on yourself or too critical?
Yeah, I think so.
That's kind of where I want to jump to that. Uh, so Ben is also NIFI, if you guys didn't know. So I feel like our type has a tendency to kind of isolate a little bit, at least as far as our private thoughts, and loop, like we've talked about. And the answer is definitely to not do that. Go triangulate with the tribe, talk to somebody, and get some actual perspective on what you're doing. You know. So for
Yeah.
me, if I felt like like when I was music directing, I would get so worked up and so angry over perceived mistakes. But I had a handful of people that were out in the crowd, or the audio engineer, or people that I trusted to give me honest feedback.
Right.
I would go talk to them and be like, "Hey, how did it go? Like, we messed up so bad here. Like, oh my gosh, it was horrible, man. I'm so mad at the band." And they're like, "Dude, what are you talking about? Like, I couldn't even tell that there was a mistake." And I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's reality." So
Yeah. Yeah. Um, it's also, yeah, it's also kind of like over control as well, right? In a way.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what does an SE tidal wave look like for you?
Um, lots of procrastination. Not getting work done. So I don't know. So for like my state inspection stickers,
Hmm.
like I let them go like 3 years out of date at one point. Um, Stuff like that. It's easy for me to ignore things that need to be done around the house, or chores that need to be taken care of, or
Hmm.
calls that need to be made. Um,
Yeah. What about in terms of just like you did allude to it sooner when we did that INTJ quote where you said, "I should have seen that coming," right? Is that kind of something where it's SEs coming and you're like, "I should have seen that. I should have known that that kind of chaos could have happened."
no, I feel more that's just me being upset with feeling like I could have planned a little better. Whereas like the real SE tidal wave for me is putting off a lot of things that need to happen in my life, and then
Hmm.
all of it kind of, so like I
Right.
put off my inspection, and then I get pulled over, and then I get a ticket, and then I put off going to court, and then then I have like a $200 bill, and I'm like, dang it, like I could have dealt with all of this, but I didn't, because I kept pushing away the SE. That's where my personal tidal waves come from. So, uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
Are we back?
Are we Did my internet hiccup?
I think it was mine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but like so do you feel like all of that stuff isn't contributing to the greater purpose maybe? Is that kind of why you're putting it off?
In the moment, it feels very unimportant. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
Mhm. So it's more like just putting it off till later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just immature procrastination, and like
Yeah.
not taking care of basic things.
And what about what's it like feeling that like anything could happen at some point in time? Like is that a scary notion that like that that
Uh,
unexplained things could happen, things that you couldn't have predicted or nobody could have predicted?
I don't know. That's like kind of a fact of life. Like you're gonna get people in your life are gonna get sick. Your car might break down. Stuff will happen. I feel like that's frustrating for everybody. So I
Yeah.
don't feel any special angst when it comes to unpredictable things happening. Like I know stuff is going to happen.
So it doesn't phase you? You don't get the printer rage?
Oh, I get the printer rage. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'll be mad. I'll rage at this stuff for sure. But
Okay.
it's it, it's happened enough that you expect it to happen. So,
So yeah, I'm just wondering if you're actually this zen when it happens because you seem very zen about
oh
talking
no,
about
I'll
it.
be cursing at the
Yeah.
printer and kicking it, and all the
Yeah.
things. Yeah, but I let myself get mad at stuff, and sometimes it's
Is
funny.
yeah, is there anything like that that you'll be hung up on for years even? Or
As far as like
just yeah, the
weird,
SE chaos.
man, I don't know. I'm gonna say no, but then somebody's gonna call me out later and be like, "Hey, what about
Hmm.
this?" Yeah, observer stuff in general, but to me, it's more funny. It's just a fun thing to talk about. Uh,
Yeah.
it's an easy way to relate to people. Like, oh my god, that red light is so long. What the heck? Like, who does that? Are there really
Right.
magnets in the road? Like, yeah, it's fun.
Um so so what about because I know you do have a little bit of a conspiracy theory tendency to you as well. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Conspiracy theory regarding what? I
I
have
don't know,
multiple.
just yeah, unexplained things, specific ways to make things multiple. Go ahead, yeah.
What?
You said you had multiple. Let's just go with yours. Yeah.
Oh no, I spent a lot of time on reading about like the JFK assassination and stuff,
Okay.
but
What? Yeah.
nothing.
Why?
It's just
Where's that from?
what do you mean? It's just a big
Where's?
event in history, and it's
Uh huh.
like, and there's missing information about it, so it's like, well, I wonder what really happened. It's fun to think about.
Right. So is that maybe like the primary driver behind it? Is the missing information? You wonder what really happened?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. What about in terms of like not believing in sign language or that deer have big antlers or stuff like that? You
I
know what
don't
I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, that's a Dave thing?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't believe that one.
But something along those lines
No,
in a different way. No.
no, no.
You ever get into
I'll joke
like that's
about
fake?
conspiracies. I'm sorry?
You never get to like, okay, that's fake, that's not real. You never get that tendency.
Sign language?
No, not something you're like, that can't be real. That's fake. I don't believe that.
Uh, some like if I'm surprised by something, I'll be like, "What? No way. Is that really a thing?
Right.
Really?" Yeah, I mean, I'll be surprised by stuff, but it's it's probably real. There's lots of stuff. I mean, I don't know. There's lots of things that I don't know about. So again,
Yeah.
expect it.
Okay. And we were talking a little bit about the blast before the call. Where yeah, where what's that reaction? Yeah.
I'm waiting for the question. I'm getting my
Yeah.
blaster lesson ready.
Yeah. Where it's like you don't know what you're talking about. You're aware that you don't know what you're talking about, but you still talk about it anyways because you feel like you have to.
Uh,
Like the
sometimes, yeah, we'll talk about something and try to work it out. What were we talking about? Was it like about
yeah.
consuming? Was I blasting
Yeah, it
you
was
about consuming?
yeah, it was along the lines of that of like, okay, yeah, consumers never feel ready. Right? It's like the contrast between I guess it's more like a demon consume thing, or right, more than a savior blast thing. Or like the way the two work together, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming back to me now. Yeah, I mean, even if I don't feel super qualified to do something, like if I, for example, if I feel unprepared to play a piece of music, but I'm the person that's supposed to play, like I'm gonna get up there and make something happen. I'm not
Right.
just gonna, so I feel like my responsibility is to get the thing done, whatever the thing happens to be.
Yeah.
And if I haven't consumed enough, so be it. We'll figure it out as we go.
Hmm. What if you let's just do some hypothetical scenario. So your neighbor's kid has a birthday party and you show up and everything's chaos there. Would you feel like it's your job to stand up and make things go better?
No, that's not my birthday party.
No. Okay.
Take
All right. Just wondering what the extent of that is.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. Um, what's the deal with conspiracy theories for NI? It's like you can't believe the events actually happened like that, so you're figuring out an alternative reality, which seems more likely somehow. So we kind of disqualified that a bit, no?
Yeah, no, Rob, it's not like I don't believe that the thing actually happened, but it is like there could be alternate realities, and that's fun to think about. It's fun to read about and kind of imagine what could have happened. So I don't know if it's like that for all the NIs, but at least for me, it's more of a hobby.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. What so do you have any I know it's embarrassing, but like do you have any theories and ideas that and speculations that you're working on right now or you're interested
About
in at the moment?
conspiracy theories? No, honestly, I
No.
really don't.
Yeah.
I really
Sorry to push on this. It's like, yeah,
no. It's a big stereotype. So
right.
I'm happy to kind of shoot that one down a little bit.
Right.
I Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Dave Powers a little bit. Do you see him? Do you feel like you see what he's doing? Do you feel like you see through him? Is he are twin types for you kind of awkward?
So there are quite a few NIFIs that have been typed in this community. I
Yeah.
want to say there's at least like 20 in the Facebook group and even more floating around in Discord. Um, so I've had the lovely opportunity to connect with many of them, and no,
Yeah.
it's not weird. I really adore all of them. Um, so no, I mean, but with anybody, like when you're comparing yourself to somebody, Benjamin, have you compared yourself to your type twins? you see things
A
in
little
them
bit.
that you admire and that you like, and you're like, okay, that's cool. But you also see things you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like that. So
Right.
it's the same for me. I see things in Dave that I really admire, and I see some things where I'm like, mm, I don't know if I would do that. Like, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't agree with that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
but
good double deciding there. Yeah. Thanks. It's good evading the question. Yeah.
have
I'm
your
not going to
bless.
keep pushing. We're good. um,
Oh, wait, do you feel like I evaded the question? Did I not answer it?
you answered it perfectly. Yeah. We're good.
Are you sure? No, now
Yeah.
you're FBing. Now you're dodging. What did you really want to say? I want to know.
um, okay. You really? You want to push
Yeah,
me to
yeah,
push
yeah,
back on you?
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what specifically do you feel like you don't like about Dave Powers then?
Oh, I don't. Oh no,
See?
that's
Yeah.
the yeah. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. There we go.
I love. Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to rag. I'll rag on him all day in private,
Yeah.
but no, not on a public forum.
No, we love
Yeah,
Dave.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fair.
See, FE works. You called me out, and you want, yeah.
That's cool. Hey, but now we know. There's no missing information. I'm happy.
No missing. Yeah. Okay, so Odin wants to know what's up, Odin. Is blast stressful, and how do you handle that stress?
um, yeah, like when you have deadlines or like say like okay, when I was music directing, I had maybe 30 minutes to run a rehearsal for a bunch of youth that hadn't practiced. And you have 30 minutes to get the thing done. Yeah, it's extremely stressful, but you don't think about it. You just go and you just do the crap that needs to be done. You don't really have a choice. So um yeah, I don't like being the bad guy, but I know that somebody needs to yell at the tribe or get them to do the thing in order for
Right.
everyone to be happy on the other side of it. So,
Yeah. No, it's
I want to be a good
interesting.
leader.
Like from my perspective, it does feel kind of like a sinful to be the bad guy and to get them to do stuff. But when I
Yeah,
do it happen and it's done right, I'm appreciative of it. Like I'm like, oh God, thank you. Somebody is actually doing this. Yeah.
yeah. So,
What about the energy dom thing and versus the info dom thing? Do you identify more with energy doms? Is info dom kind of
yeah.
annoying? Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's some like so the one I will say so the info dom versus energy dom coin is something I've been processing more lately. Just I guess because Dave and Shannon have been talking about it a little more
Hmm.
recently. But like, yeah, there are big differences in that coin, and I feel like I'm as energy dom as an energy dom can be. Like I'm not great at
Yeah.
communicating. I feel like compared to like if you guys know Michael in the Discord INTJ, he's he is so good at communicating. Like he can say more in 20 seconds than I can in like 30 minutes. Like it's incredible. So I love the infodoms and how they're able to communicate so well.
Yeah. What, so one more thing I want to touch on before we continue. What about the idea of hiding information from people to get them interested or to bait them into something? Is that a kind of tactic that you see useful?
I'm all about manipulating people into doing things that is good for them. So yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds
but I
like
mean,
something I would do.
I'm
Trying to
wondering specifically about the hiding the information thing. Is that a tactic that actually kind of works?
um I don't know, like FOMO is a thing. People being afraid of missing out on something really cool. So like
Yeah.
that's information. So yeah, I mean when I'm trying to recruit or when I was trying to recruit musicians for the band, I'd be like, hey, don't you wish you could be up on stage? Why don't you come up here? Why don't you check it out? You could do this. It's not that hard.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. No, I'm wondering about the whole blaster trap thing. You know what I'm saying?
blaster trap. No, what do you mean?
Yeah. Where it's like, where you're posing as if you might even have the information, but you're saying that you have this information and you're not revealing it so that people come and ask you specifically for it.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
That seems that seems weird. Like if somebody else can blast and do the thing, I don't really feel the need for them to come to me.
Okay.
Feels like kind of a weird ego trip thing for somebody to do. I don't know about that.
Hmm.
I hope I don't do that. I don't think I do that.
And And another thing I've been processing too is like how how much IJs are actually hiding what their grand plan actually is. Like, do you feel like if you were actually to reveal your grand plan, people would actually, I don't know. Do you have something on that?
Uh, well, I don't know. Like, I'm only gonna communicate as much as necessary to get the thing done. So,
Yeah.
sure. But my grand plan is really just all about making me happy. So, you know.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, all of the ins and outs and all of the considerations you've already considered, and like, do you
Does
feel like if
everybody
people
really
knew,
need to know that? Oh, if they
yeah,
knew?
if they knew, they would sort of be more careful around you?
Oh, if they knew how crazy and plotting I actually am?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope people that, like, actually know me and that live in this city don't actually find this interview. I'm a little worried about that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't want you to necessarily out yourself, but I kind of want you to out all of the other IJs on this. So
But if I out myself, I am outing them.
yeah,
No.
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really not sure how to answer that. That's funny.
Yeah.
All I can say is that I'm guilty of being manipulative and forcing when it comes to getting things that I want done, for sure.
Right. Hmm. And like you see the moving parts, and you see like where the pressure needs to be put in order to get it,
Mhm.
and people aren't aware that you're putting that pressure.
I'm not really sure if they just I think they just see me doing I'm thinking of music directing and directing a band.
Hmm.
I think they just see me, yeah, trying to get a job done and make the music happen. I
Right.
hope. I hope. Like that's really what I'm trying to do is just
Right. But
so
like, so like, let's say you have this one goal that obviously you can't reveal to anyone, because if you revealed it, it wouldn't happen, right? So, but then like by not revealing it and by pushing at it subtly from all of these different angles, it actually does happen. Is that like very fulfilling when it's like, yes, finally I've achieved
like
that? Or
having like I don't know. I've never really had like a secret goal. I don't know.
okay,
I mean, I'm not sure about that one. Normally it's like, hey, if we're going to do a thing together, we have the same goal to start with. Like I want to make sure that that's aligned first, right?
so you're not hiding that information. You're not hiding it.
Yeah, it feels like it'd be a giant waste of time. Because if your and I plan, or if your plan isn't on board with my plan, like, what are we doing? So, yeah,
But I mean, so
yeah,
if someone's plan isn't on board with your plan, you're obviously at odds, right? You're
yeah.
obviously, yeah. And so the game becomes who can play the long game better in order to get their plan to work. No?
I see. I see. So my goal, I don't know. So like maybe if you're talking about a music service, it's like, do we go with like the song that I picked or the song that you picked? Something like that.
Hmm. That's
I don't know.
arbitrary. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like your values could maybe be attached to a specific plan, but for me it's honestly like what is going to work best. So I'll
Yeah.
be flexible as long as like the result is good and beneficial and satisfactory for me.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, as long as somebody's on board with the result, we can work with the other stuff.
Cool. Well, really good, man. Do you have any final message that you want to say about maybe your type, or typology in general, or anything you want to promote? Can we see your music at some place? Can we hear it?
No.
No.
No. No, the church I work at doesn't stream right now,
Okay.
um but let's see. Promote. Hey, have you guys subscribed to Benjamin's channel yet? Hit
Don't
the
subscribe.
hit
No.
the hit the like. Hit the like.
No.
Look, if you made it this far, that means you actually find the content valuable. So hit the like button, tribe, and then hit subscribe, and then hit the little bell.
I don't want you. Stay
You
away.
like that blast? You
Don't
like that?
subscribe to my stuff. That was good.
Just
I like that.
see
But
all the videos.
yeah.
Join the Discord. Join the Facebook group. Talk to us. Don't be weird. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. I got it all out.
Don't talk to us. Talk to Carlo. Carlos wants as many people to message him as possible. Stalk him and message him. Send him your cat videos.
Oh, do that. Yeah, you don't have to know me to send me a cat video. You have my full permission. Oh
Right.
man, hey, the cats didn't come, did they?
No.
Huh. I'm sorry, Benjamin.
It's all right.
You want the blaster thumbs up?
You're going to have to give me a picture and I'll put it on the thumbnail. Okay. All right. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, YouTube. And Carlos is a great guy. Subscribe to his channel whenever he gets one, his music channel.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And send him cat videos. Have a good one, guys.